Dear students, in this particular tutorial, we are going to learn procedural model of library automation. Now, before starting, let me tell you one thing that ICT applications in different kind of library operations, workflows, and library services require study of the system, how it is working, how it is operating at the minute level. Now, uh, application of different kind of software in different kind of library process and activities require a kind of system analysis. Now one question is popping up in your mind, that what is the system and whether a library is a system or not. Now a system, you may consider it's an integrated parts of the whole, and all interrelated or integrated parts are working towards achieving a single set of objectives of that particular system. Now if systems is basically a interrelated part, then whether a library is a system or not. Definitely a library is a system. From the system analysis point of view, a library is a system which has got two major subsystems. One is called an operational subsystem and another is called administrative subsystem. Now we cannot automate administrative subsystem. A computer cannot take decisions on behalf of you, cannot write a letter on behalf of you, but operational subsystem is completely amenable to computerization, because we are doing many of the tasks in the operational activities we are doing repetitively. So those repetitive tasks follow a particular methodology, and that methodology is completely amenable to computerization, and that's why library automation is a great success, because this operational subsystem of a library can be partially automated. As I said earlier, that library automation is not a complete turnkey automation project. It's basically a semi-automatic process where you need human intervention almost at every steps. So let us start with the task analysis of library workflow, and how this task analysis actually develop a model which is called procedural model of library automation. And all the library automation software, all the ILSs from third generation to fifth generation are actually inherently owned this particular procedural model of library automation. And in one sense, all library automation software is basically the same thing at the core of the core. So this procedural model we are going to discuss in this particular tutorial. So let us switch over to the presentation mode. Now you can see that title of this particular presentation is Task Analysis of Workflow, that means library workflow, procedural model of library automation. Now let us begin with the system. What is the definition of system? As I said, a system is defined as a set of interactive components that operate within a boundary for the purpose of achieving an objective. The objective basically belonging to the objective of the parent organization of which library is a part. For example, a college library. The role of the college library is to support the objective of that particular college. Similarly, university library, public library, in all cases, their parent organization definitely having a set of objectives, and the duty of the library is to support to achieve those objectives. Now the boundary system normally works within a boundary, and the boundary of a system filters interaction, that means input and output, between a system and its environment. So every system has got its environment. For example, a university library is a system. It has got environment, all input and output interaction with the bigger system that is called a university. Similarly, if university is a system, it is actually working in the environment of higher education of that particular state or of that particular country. So every system works within a boundary, and it interacts, or it may or may not interact with the environment. If a particular system accepts input from the environment, that is called an open system, and a closed system is not interacting with the other peripheral system or its immediate environment. So open systems are basically taking input and giving output to the environment, and in that sense a library is a system, and a library is a very much an open system. So in simple words, we can say library as an information system performs data to information processing activities, and it always interacts with its immediate environment. Now, as I already said that the question is that is library a system? Definitely, a library is a part of an information system. It's a kind of information system. The role is to organize resources, interact with the user, and different kind of independent and integrated set of components of a library is actually working towards it. So an information system has definite objectives and goal, and basically these are the goals set by the parent organization. An immediate environment plays significant role in designing and performance of an information system, and a library is typically a kind of information system. Now, information resources are basically, as I said, that an open system takes input from the environment. So a library also acquires materials available in its immediate environment. Sometimes at the global scale they acquire material within the system, they process it, and again it interacts with the environment in terms of the different kind of services. For example, circulation service through which a user can borrow a particular item to take back the item in their home for reading. So similarly, like an information system, a library has got different subsystems and different kind of activities we need to perform to maintain that particular system, like planning, organization, feedback to improve that particular system, and so on. So library, if you take into code of any kind of library, so this particular model what I am going to tell you here, and which is basically acting as the building block for all library automation software development. So it takes library as a system, and a library of any type of size has mainly two subsystems. One is the administrative subsystem and another one is the operational subsystem. As I said earlier, that administrative subsystem we cannot automate, but operational subsystem can generate lot many data, statistics, report, and that can help as an input to the administrative subsystem, because on the basis of that data, statistics and report, a library manager can take important decisions, informed decisions. So in fact, automation of operational subsystem may provide a wholesome MIS to library managers. Now towards the model, this procedural model of library automation first proposed by P.A. Thomas in 1984 against a project of ASLIB. ASLIB you all know. So that particular organization given P.A. Thomas a project to study different types of library and come up with a core model of library workflow. So P.A. Thomas proposed the procedural model of library automation, and till date all the library automation softwares are basically supporting this model. Now according to this particular model, administrative subsystem we cannot automate, but operational subsystem can provide input to the administrative subsystem. So we can automate the process or the workflow of operational subsystem, and in his system analysis process, P.A. Thomas shown a library has got one system, and this system has got two basic parts. You can see here library as a system, and we have operational subsystem and administrative subsystem. Now if you again take a look into the operational subsystem, it basically having four subsystems. So every operational subsystem of a library of any type or size is having four basic subsystems. What are these subsystems? One is acquisition, second is technical processing, third is use. Use means different kind of services we provide to satisfy our end users, and fourth is the maintenance. So these four basic subsystems are part of the operational subsystem of every library, and each of these subsystems are again supported by the 18 procedures, 6 activities, and 15 basic tasks. So you see here P.A. Thomas actually converted the whole library workflow into a very basic mathematics. One system, two basic parts, 4 subsystems, 18 procedures, 6 activities, and 15 basic tasks. Now let me provide you, or let me give you an example of the procedures. 18 procedures. Every library follows these 18 procedures in their operational workflow. Now suppose this library housekeeping operation you already know. These are the day-to-day maintenance work of a library. It includes all three activities: input, processing and output. And at the input level we call it acquisition section. Now acquisition section is basically having 4 procedures. I have talked about 18 procedures. You see, under acquisition there are 4 procedures: select, order, receive, accession. So this is the job of the major 4 jobs of the acquisition section of a library. You need to select a set of books, then you need to place order for those books, then you have to receive those books. Receive includes also the process of financial transaction, that means payment to the vendors. And finally, after receiving, you need to accession it. Accession number, you know, every document we procure for a library needs to got a chronological number, that is the unique ID of a document inside a library system. Now after accessioning is over, the job of acquisition section is also over. Now it goes to the processing section. Now processing section again having 4 basic procedures. One is the after receiving this particular set of documents from the acquisition section, they need to classify it, they need to catalog it, they need to label it, and finally they need to shelve it. So in the processing section we are basically making ready documents for utilization for the end user. So first is classify, second is catalog, third is labeling, and fourth is shelving. Now when shelving is done, your processing activities is over. Now it is ready for use, and in the use level we need to support following basic procedures. So locate, that means we need to provide different kind of search mechanism. Say when you are providing in a manually managed library, you are providing card catalog, that is also a locating service. In a computerized library system where you are using ILSs, so you are providing OPAC to find different kind of material. So locate is actually it's supporting all the basic objective as proposed by Charles M. Carter way back in 1876, that to find a material, to select a material, to obtain a material, to navigate a material. So locate functions is supporting all this kind of operations. Then comes the lending. After finding out that material, user may wish to take that document to home for reading. So that we call lending or borrowing. So lending means issue. Then some of the documents one user wants, but that is not presently available, someone already issued it, then we have to place hold, that is called reservation. So after reservation, that particular issued book when returned by the user to the library, that is called recall or return. So locate, lend, reserve, recall, all are basic for procedures in use section. Then other things are coming. One is called interlibrary loan. Suppose this particular book is not available in my library, I have an agreement with other group of libraries, so user request I can forward to those libraries and my user can have documents from that library. So interlibrary loan is also acting as a module nowadays in mainstream library automation software or ILSs. And finally photocopy. If that particular book is a confined copy that cannot be borrowed, so library sometimes is having reprographic services in the form of photocopy. So these are the basic procedures of the use section: locate, lend, reserve, recall, interlibrary loan, and photocopy. And finally, if you do not maintain a library, particularly a library stack, if it is an open access, then soon it will become unserviceable. So that means we need to go for the stock rectification, stock verification regularly. These are called maintenance work, and it includes 3 basic operations: bind, replace, discard. If a book requires got some kind of damage, wear and tear, so we have to rebind it. Then some books may be lost, we have to replace them, and some books may be weeded out from time to time, old versions of different reference books. So these 3 are the basic operations or basic procedures related to maintenance. So altogether you can calculate that these are the 18 procedures under the 4 basic subsystems of a library. Now each procedures is performed by different kind of activities. So P.A. Thomas proposed a set of 6 possible activities to perform a procedures. These are initiate, authorize, activate, record, report and cancel. So it is not necessary, P.A. Thomas also mentioned that it is not necessary that all the 6 activities you need to perform to conduct a particular procedure, to perform a particular procedure, but these are the 6 possible activities we need to take into consideration. It may so happen that sometimes you do not need to report, sometimes you do not need to cancel all this kind of activities. So by definition, an initiation or initiate means that the procedure is commenced. Then authorization, after commencement you need approval of that particular initiation or initiative. Then after authorization is obtained, you have to activate, then you have to record your actions, and finally you sometimes may need to report to the library staff or your higher authority or users what actions you have taken, and finally sometimes it may require that you need to cancel a particular initiation. So these are the 6 activities related to each of these 18 procedure: initiate, to start a process; authorize, to approve a process; activate, to take actions against an approved process; then record the actions you have taken; report if it is required; cancel if it is required. That means to stop a procedure. Now this particular graphics can help you to understand in a better way. So suppose it's a particular system, operational subsystem. We already discussed operational subsystems is having 4 major sections: acquisition, processing, use and maintenance. Processing has got also 4 procedure, and altogether these 4 subsystems include 18 procedure. Each of these 18 procedures may be conducted through all 6 possible activities. Again I am repeating that it may not require all 6 activities, but you need minimum, at the minimum level you need 1, and at the maximum level you need 6 activities to start and complete a particular procedure. Now applications of the procedure model in library automation software, you know that generally an ILS is divided in modules. So every ILS, be it open source, be it commercial, be it client server, be it web architecture, be it cloud hosted, all ISSs are having modules first. Say acquisition module to support work of acquisition section, cataloging module to support work of technical processing section, circulation, then maintenance and so on. So these modules are again divided into sub modules. So suppose you are having acquisition module, then again divided into number of sub modules: how to create a vendor, how to create a master list for the vendors, how to place order, then how to go for payment, how to receive a particular book, how to go for accessioning, and all these modules are interlinked with each other. All the data you have entered inside the acquisition modules are readily available when you start work in the cataloging modules and so on. So library automation packages of all type divided into number of modules, number of sub modules, and sub modules are basically having facilities. So these facilities are 15 basic tasks as proposed by P.A. Thomas. So now you understand that all the library automation software we are handling, be it Sol, be it Libsys, be it Koha, be it VirtuaLS, any software are basically supporting this procedural model of a library automation. And procedural model of library automation first proposed by P.A. Thomas in the year 1984. Till date it is supporting as a base or core model for automating different kind of workflow of a library, and this model is true for all type and size of library. It is not that it is meant only for academic library. Public libraries are also actually based on this particular procedural model. Now let us see that how this particular model is applied in a given library automation software. Now you can see here the staff interface or the librarian interface of Koha system. And as I said, or as P.A. Thomas proposed, that all libraries operational activities are developed major 4 groups: acquisition, technical processing, use and maintenance. So you can find out that all these are not actually grouped by that way, but all are actually interlinked. Say acquisition module, it's basically related to the acquisition. Then cataloging, serials control, authority management, these all belong to technical processing. Similarly, circulation, patron management, search services, opac, all belong to use section. And then definitely administration, tools, report generation, these all belong to maintenance section or maintenance subsystem. So similarly, here you can see ILL request also, the latest version of Koha supports interlibrary load, and that is also a part of the use section. So now if I click say acquisition, now what that model said, that a particular section is again divided into number of procedures, and procedures are supported by different kind of activities. So here you see, if I click this acquisition, these are many sub modules, say order management, suggestion management, invoice management, payment management, then administrative part, budget management, budget heads or funding, currencies or exchange rate, then EDI account through which a library can handle different kind of electronic payment and so on. So these are the sub modules of an acquisition section. Similarly, if we go to the this circulation section, you see these are the sub modules of a circulation section. If I click a particular sub module, there will be facilities, and facilities are supported by 15 basic tasks as proposed by Pierre Thomas. So here you see checkout means issuing a book, check-in, returning a book, renewing a book, a user wants to renew again for reading, then hold management or reservation, then bulk transfer, overdue management or fine management. These all are the basically part of the different kind of activities, procedures and activities related to the circulation section. Similarly, if we come to the cataloging section again, you can see that cataloging we can do different kind of cataloging. Koha supports both bibliographic cataloging and authority data management. So I can start right from here, entering a new document. Depending, I can pick up the mark format depending on the document type. Suppose I am cataloging a book, I am picking books format. If I am managing a particular serials, I can pick up this particular framework and so on. So in some cases, Koha also supports Z39.50 cataloging. In fact, cataloging is divided into two groups of activities. Original cataloging, I can catalog this particular book, it's a new book for me, and the cataloging data not available anywhere. It is not previously cataloged in my own library, and the record is not available through Z39.50 server. So, but before start cataloging of any particular new book in your library, you can have a look into the different kind of Z39.50 server. It can check and it can tell you that whether this book data available or not. If it is available, you don't have to catalog it. You just edit that particular cataloging data sets according to the need of your library and save it. So these are the procedures of cataloging module. Similarly, Koha supports nowadays a comprehensive authority management. You can see if I click authority module, it is also part of the technical processing section. I can again start new authority, or I can download a particular authority, name authority, subject authority, title authority from any Z39.50 server. And I already talked about via virtual internet authority file. So that is actually an agglomeration of name authority data of 25 big national libraries, and I can check whether my author is available there or not, and if it is, then I can download and I can integrate inside my system. So in this way, all library automation softwares are working. And administration, if you go, I can go for different kind of regular maintenance work. Like I can create different kind of framework, I can create mapping, I can select different kind of acquisition parameters, I can create a library, I can create different kind of item types if it is not available, different kind of authorized values, which is a great help for cataloging, patron and circulation rule management, then different kind of financial data management, accounting, plugin management, and different kind of other additional parameter like news at 39.50 server, and different kind of search services, SMS services, email alerts, and so on. So these are the role of the administration, which is basically nothing but maintenance of a particular library, and in this way basically it works. So now that's all about the procedural model of library automation. Here you know that how P.A. Thomas proposed that model, and how present days library automation softwares are actually based on these models. All the models, all the concept, all the ideas proposed by P.A. Thomas through this particular procedural model of library automation till date holds true, and most of the library automation software of different generation, third, fourth, fifth, with different architecture, client server, web architecture, multi-tenancy, all are based on this core model, this model at the core of their core. So that's all. Thank you.